Alright guys, how you doing? Before in another video I mentioned that I had a Baltic Porter that I'd done, and I'd fermented it with 2.5 kilos of blackberries, 500 grams of cocoa nibs, 500 grams of coffee, and 50 grams of bourbon chips. So I said I'd do a taste test of that and film that because it's an absolutely fantastic beer. Very smooth. It's got the rounded coffee notes to it. There's a little underlying blackberry, and then you get the coffee at the back end as well. And I haven't tasted this for a few weeks now, about 2 weeks. So I'm not sure. Last time I tasted it, the oak was barely even there. So, like I said in the other video, I usually do smaller amount of oaks for a longer period of time rather than a larger amount for a shorter time, because you can get a lot of more mistakes when you use larger quantities. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you do decide to mimic a barrel aging process or anything like that. So here we have my cupboard case that it's kept in. I've got it locked up with a lock so my daughters don't come in here and wonder what's in here. That's it there, sitting in here. This fits 3 fermenters in this box at any one time, this size or the size of the one in my other video. I keep this in here at all times, and I come out and check it probably 3 times a day. One first thing in the morning, about 7 in the morning, one at lunchtime when I'm here, and then once again at about midnight. And I tell you what, it does not vary from 12 degrees too much. It probably goes between 11.2 to about 13. Otherwise it sits in that range beautifully, which is absolutely fantastic, because it means that this isn't going to fluctuate in temperatures and produce any off flavors. It's only aging at the moment anyway. It's done its fermentation, it's gone through the process, it's sitting at about 12%. It's a big beer. It's got that nice alcohol warming to it, but yeah, it's just one of those beers that now I can sit it out here rather than wasting time in my temperature controlled fridge. I can just leave it in this enclosure. These walls, roofs, floor, sides, they're all insulated, and then the door's not insulated, but that's what this woolen insulation is, to insulate that and then to wrap around when I do decide to use this as a fermentation chamber, which is the process that I plan on doing next. There's a little power point at the back. I'm just going to drop a hole in the back so I can put my temperature probe and then run the gauge up through the front here, so I'll have a reading of what's inside without actually having to open up the fridge or keep this in here. This is my auto siphon. I've done a video of this, but it's just like a montage effectively. Whoops. This is my beer line cleaner, and this thing is absolutely worth its weight in gold. It saved me an absolute fortune in money, in gas and in time and effort, because you just don't have to worry about anything. You just put it in. You just put your solution in that, pump it up, pressurize it, attach it to the beer line, turn on your taps, and away she goes. Absolutely fantastic. Now it takes me probably a quarter of the time to clean and ferment, to clean my beer lines than it did before, when I had to fill an old keg up, or an unused keg, had to fill it up, and then you waste all your gas by putting all the gas onto it. Anyway, that's I can do another video. I've done, like I said, a montage style of that, just photos, but if anyone wants, just drop me a line and I will I'll do a video on how to make one of those. There are plenty online. I know Gash Slug does one, which is a really good version as well. But anyway, this is sitting at 12. The thermo well, when I fermented it, I used the thermometer inside there, which is fantastic. Obviously I don't need it in here because it's only aging. So, alright, I'm going to take this out, put it in the kitchen, crack the lid and give it a taste and see where we're at with flavours. Alrighty, so here we are, we're in the kitchen. I'll just crack the lid a little and let you have a look inside there. That's the oak chips. I'll take that off. It's the oak chips inside there. What does it smell like? Oh, brilliant. All right, I'm going to crack that and put that back down. So let's give it a little taste. Alright, it's done. Just going to lock this one up again. I know it's been there for a long time, I just don't want to run the risk of... I couldn't actually smell much bourbon in there, so I'm thinking, you know, it's been, like I said, about 5 weeks now that I've had that. Alright, so... Oops. I'll flick this around. Alright, so there we are. Jeez. I'm getting a slight bourbon on the nose. Definitely getting alcohol. Yeah, it's starting to come through now, the bourbon. Very slow, it's very subtle, it's not a lot to it. Oh, it's definitely nice, it's very smooth. Getting that blackberry flavour in there as well now, as well as yeah, the coffee and the chocolate's definitely there as well in the background. It's not as strong. It's on the background. Oh, it's actually, it rounds out the throat feel quite nicely. Oh yeah, yeah, that's not bad. Definitely am getting that bourbon flavour now. Yeah. It creeps up on you, it's slow, but it's definitely there. Yeah, alright, well there you go. I'm probably going to put that back into, put that one back in, let that sit for a bit longer. If I might give it another test in 2 weeks, and if I'm not getting much more out of the bourbon, then I think I might go and add another 50 grams and then sort of speed it up a little bit. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with the way it's coming along. I know that some people will stick bourbon or oak staves in their beer for 6 months and try and draw out the flavour, a really long process. But I'm kind of hoping to get this into the keg before summer. It's the start of August now, so I want to get this beer into the keg by summer if we can. And that would be fantastic. But yeah, no, definitely. I'll if anyone's interested, I'll post the recipe on this Baltic Porter, exactly what I did and how I did it, and then we'll go from there, and I'll let you know. But that bourbon flavour, it's really starting to. It builds. It's surprising. It builds. It obviously needs a bit longer, but it's building on me now. So it's kind of nice. It's warming. That beautiful warming. So the plan is that I'm going to bottle this or keg it. Probably keg it and then potentially carbonate it, and then use my bottling gun and bottle it all up, and then age it for 12 months and drink it next winter. That would be the ideal solution. If I can achieve that, then that would be fantastic. But if not, or if I can't resist, then it'll get drunk very shortly. All right, brilliant. Thank you. Hope you all took something out of that. Like I said, drop me a note down below if you're interested in me publishing this or putting this recipe online, and I'll do something about that and get that to you. All right, peace out.